Water. It falls from our skies, flows through our rivers, covers 71% of our planet, yet somehow we are paying more for it per liter than gasoline. How something that literally falls from the sky became a $300 billion industry. How marketing geniuses convinced us to pay for what our ancestors got for free. It can't be just about clever advertising and plastic bottles. It's a story of power, control, and survival. In a world where some pay $50 for a bottle of premium water, while others have to walk miles for a single sip, we have to ask ourselves, how did water turn from a resource to a product? And is it possible to make water free again? The story of bottled water begins in a little town called Evian-les-Bains. There was a local man who started drinking from a particular spring and claimed miraculous health benefits. Soon the word spread, and people started traveling from afar to sample these healing waters. They were not just drinking water, they were kind of participating in a social ritual. But in those days, there were no flights or fast trains, so not all the people can visit them frequently. Then these spa towns made a fascinating discovery that if they could bottle their mineral water, they could sell their healing powers to people who could not make the journey. And that's how the first large scale water bottling operation began at Germany's Niederselter Spring in 1728. But at that time, only rich and influential people could afford this magical healing bottled water. For everyone else, water was simply water, free, basic, life giving, available at every well and stream. And then came the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. Everything was changing with the explosive growth of cities during the Industrial Revolution. Imagine London in 1850. 1 million people crammed together, raw sewage flowing into the Thames, cholera outbreaks devastating communities. Clean water was not a luxury anymore, it was a matter of life and death. And this crisis led to two competing solutions: public water system and private water companies. Every city started massive public projects. Imagine countless workers digging miles of tunnels, laying pipes under every street, and building huge water treatment plants. They were trying to make clean water available to everyone. Meanwhile, private companies saw a golden opportunity in people's desperation for clean water, as the public projects were very slow. So, some companies built their own smaller water networks, serving only the wealthy neighborhoods where people could afford to pay these premium prices. Others went the bottled water route, setting up shops to sell clean water by the bottle to those who could afford it. So the two parallel worlds of water, public system trying to serve everyone and the private companies focusing on making profits from those who could pay more. But the two marketing started in the early 20th century on the other side of the Pacific. America was in the middle of a cultural revolution. The counterculture was rejecting everything artificial: natural foods, natural living, and yes, natural water. Then Perrier emerged. And of course, it's French, so I can't say it correctly. But they branded themselves as the champagne of mineral waters. In their ads, you can see these sophisticated people in elegant settings drinking what they call the Earth's first soft drink. And the genius was in the positioning. Perrier was not competing with the tap water, it was competing with cocktails and soft drinks. They made water glamorous, sophisticated, adult. But that marketing campaign and the growing concerns over tap water laid the groundwork for the global bottled water phenomena we see today. And today, the water marketing is not about water anymore. It's about lifestyle. See, the premium water is one of the last step of luxury. When anyone starts to get some more money in the bank, they update their clothes, their house, their cars, but there's a limit to that. And after some time, they realize that they can only have one body, which is made of 70% of water. So if they have this unlimited money, they want to spend it on the best water for their body. That's why you see these athletes like Ronaldo and Virat Kohli using and endorsing the premium water. And because these people are like at a pinnacle of healthy and fit body, it became a common perception that if you are rich and have some extra money, you will not drink normal tap water, but go for the premium one. But then it became a challenge for the brands that how to make water premium. Because water is not a tech product like an iPhone. There's only two things. First the water and second is the bottle. For the water, companies got really creative. Evian tells you their water takes a 15-year journey through the French Alps, filtering through ancient glacial rocks. Fiji claims their water never touches human hands until you open it, protected by layers of volcanic rock in the South Pacific. Voss goes all in on their Norwegian artisan water source, painting a picture of pristine Arctic purity. And even that was not enough. So a company, BLK, came up with a black colored water. They mix a compound called fulvic acid, which is basically shilajit mixed with water. So the companies started to sell you water based on geography, color, pH level, electrolytes, minerals, and just throw in a bunch of other keywords. And then there's the bottle game. Remember how Apple brought revolution in tech packaging? Water companies did something similar. Voss started it with their glass liner bottle that looks more like a luxury perfume than water. Fiji made their bottles square, literally breaking the mold of round bottles, and turned them into their signature look. San Pellegrino went with green glass bottle and that iconic blue star label that screams Italian luxury. Even the bottle caps got fancy, some with built-in infusers like air up, others with special opening mechanisms that make that satisfying premium sound when you crack them open. But it even got wilder when these companies started getting special editions just like fashion brands. Evian collaborates with fashion designers for limited edition bottles. And there's even a brand called Bling H2O that sells water in frosted glass bottles covered in Swarovski crystals for $40 a bottle. So they basically turned water, the most basic thing on earth, into a luxury fashion accessory. And somehow it worked. But leave those wealthy people aside. Let's ask about why normal people like you and me pay for our water. Of course, the first reason is that we fall for these brands and trust their stories. But the second and more important reason is the perceived purity that develops in our mind through these stories. Bottled water companies understand our fear of contamination, and by showing pristine mountains, glacier fed streams, or crystal clear springs in their ads, they tap into our desire of purity. We pay a premium because we believe we are getting something safer or healthier, even though in most of the developed nations, tap water undergo rigorous testing and is often just as safe as bottled water. And the third reason we pay for our water is just convenience. It's much more easier to grab a chilled bottle from a fridge at the store than to remember to fill up a reusable bottle. Or if you are traveling on an airport or a train station, it is easier to just buy a bottle of water than finding a tap of drinkable water. It's like a survival instinct. We do whatever feels safest, quickest, or more reliable. But then the question comes down to, can water become free again? Well, the short answer is maybe. If cities continue to improve public infrastructure and start putting up more water stations at places like airports, parks, and schools, and keep making sure that tap water is clean and safe, people might not need to buy bottled water as much. For that, we also need to get into the habit of carrying our own refillable bottles. And then the government has to step in to control how big water companies operate. I mean, these companies are getting water from glaciers and springs for super cheap and are selling it back to us at crazy prices. Nestle alone owns or leases over 50 springs in North America. In some cases, they pay as little as $200 per million gallons and sell it back to consumers for millions. Maybe it's time someone looked into that and find a better balance between making money and doing what's right for people and the environment. But even more than that, one thing that needs to change is our own attitude. Because there is actually a startup called freewater.io who actually offers spring water for free. They claim that all the costs are covered by the advertising on the water bottle. You'd think that people would love it, right? But watch this.
Water? It's water. It's natural spring water. It's free.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing's wrong with it. We're a free beverage company called Free Water. The water's free because the packaging is the ad space.
It's funny how we have gotten so used to paying for water that free water seems weird now. So yeah, Water can definitely be free again, but we need better public system, fair rules, and honestly, it all comes down to how we see water. Is it just another brand to buy or a human right we already own? We will decide that each time we reach for a bottle or fill up one for free. Every sip tells the story of how far we have come and how far we still have to go. The question is, will you pay for what falls from the sky or will you help make it free again? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to watch more videos about the science behind the products. I'll see you next time. Thank you.